podcast. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Liz.
And we're discussing season 4, episode 12, Laboring, written by Roland Jones and directed by Adam Davidson. Air date February 3rd. Oh my God, I put
2023?
Sure did.
2010?
10. Yes. Thanks, Liz. This is the penultimate episode. It was heavy.
Yeah.
We figured. I told you it wasn't going to be easy.
No. I'm anticipating next week. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. In this episode, tensions in town run high as the Panthers-Lions game approaches. Coach has bad news for Luke. Tami considers a public apology, and Vince is persuaded to seek revenge.
Coach has bad news for Luke. Like, it's 5 seconds of the episode.
BT dubs, you can't play in the game.
Right. And he's like, I pretty much figured that. So thanks.
Right. Okay, so let's start with football and Coach. The game is set to take place. We have the Panthers versus the Lions. We've been waiting for this.
Yes.
You've been
the
waiting
whole
for it.
season.
The entire season.
Since episode 1, since Coach has been the coach of the Lions.
Correct. Yeah. And so this game is set to take place the day after Thanksgiving.
Right. So it's November.
Correct. Yeah. Both are upset because obviously each wants each to play on their respective fields. So they all meet on Lions Field because that's where the game should be taking place.
Right. It's already decided that that's where it's supposed to be.
Correct. That's where
that's
it should
the
be.
regulations and the rules of whatever this division.
Correct. Right.
Mhm.
But of course, the Panthers are like, are you kidding? Oh, we can't play here. Look at the state of this field. And so the director, who's neutral, is like, hey, Coach Taylor, will this field be in good playing condition by Friday? And this is like a week before that. And Coach is like, I have time. It's
Right.
Saturday. Don't worry about it.
And they're like, oh, you need to really work on this. It's like, well, they don't have the funds to fix the field. If they did, they would have.
Right. Well, this leads to the team and the coaches and Coach Taylor working on putting together this field, fixing it up. This is where we have the scene with Luke, his very short scene of, Luke asking Coach, can he play? And Coach is like, no, I just need you to take care of your hip. And also like put down the Gatorade.
He seemed obviously like he wasn't in pain, but then again, he wasn't truly like moving around and doing things. So I'm like, okay, are we on the mend? Obviously, we know he's not going to play in the game, which is really unfortunate for Luke and for the Lions.
Right.
But as you know, Michelle, ribs. They got to be just cared after and not used.
Yeah, and his hip. It's his hip.
It's his hip, yeah.
But yes, I do know ribs. Very well. Very well.
The midrib.
The midrib, right? Hopefully only here for a limited time.
But don't.
Yeah, that's right. TM. But because the Lions are busy fixing up their field, they're practicing over at Carroll Park. And so Landry comes up with the idea, well, if we can't practice on our field, the Panthers can't practice on theirs. And so he gets the team together and they pull a prank where they just set up toothpicks all over Panther Field.
Yeah. Were we supposed to know that until we saw it? No, right? Because I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
It looks like they're about to plank. All of them.
Remember the plank challenge?
I was just going to say, remember the plank challenge? And everyone just was like, just would do it out of nowhere, just in the middle of the house, do it.
That was so weird. What a time. Weird. What a time.
It was like the same thing as like the still frame thing challenge and the ice bucket challenge. Social media is weird, y'all.
There was the mannequin challenge.
The mannequin challenge. That's what it was called.
I have to say, my family did that on
I
Thanksgiving.
know. I remember the video. It was great.
It was so good.
And it's fun. I'm sure it was really fun.
Why can't they bring that
and flash
stuff
mobs,
back?
that was like a big thing. Remember
we were
the flash mob. To Firework by Katy Perry.
I'll never forget it.
Same.
Yeah.
Remember we did it with my mom, and then when it came down to the performance, my mom literally just didn't do it. I was like, you practiced for hours and then you didn't do it. What was the point? She's like, I just want to be involved.
I love it though. Your mom came for support, but that was so much fun.
That was fun.
That was really fun. We didn't know it was toothpicks. We thought they were planking.
I loved it.
And then at practice, coach is like, it took West Dillon over 2 hours to pick up all the toothpicks. And the team is like, haha, everyone's laughing. And coach is like,
great.
we're
It's
going to
so
have
great.
fun today. Whose idea was this? Like, we don't know. We don't know. He's like, Lance looks tired. Obviously, coach is not going to applaud this behavior.
No, but he was loving it.
I think
As
internally.
you would. Yeah. He's like, fuck those guys.
Right. But he's like, hey, Landry, you have to, until he can kick a 40, everyone's got to do jingle jangles.
Jingle jangle. Which all in the chat, we were like, all we think about is Riverdale. Jingle jangle.
Jingle jangle all the way. So this leads to the alleged Panthers retaliating, and they fuck up Lions Field.
Really?
It's awful.
Right. Yeah. And a part of me was like, oh, it's all in good fun, right? Like they're all trying to do something to each other. And then they go and take it, obviously, because it's the Panthers, they take it to another level.
But alleged.
Wade
is like, if any of our players was involved, they're not playing on Friday. Blah, blah, blah.
God.
It's such bullshit.
Oh, it's so infuriating.
So this leads to the boosters and the coaches meeting to discuss what the plan is, because now they can't play on Lions Field. And this ultimately leads that the game will take place on Panther Field.
Yep, they got exactly what they wanted.
And as that meeting's taking place, you just have Joe smiling.
I just want to.
I just wanted to punch him
right off.
And of course, coach is just getting like harassed for this upcoming game and how he's taking on the Panthers, and that was his old team. And then he also abandoned the Lions the first game. So coach is being tested along with Tami's being tested. This whole abortion situation is not going away.
Baby.
She's in the paper. Her superintendent, Paul, makes a 50-mile trip to come see her at night. I was like, you're the superintendent, but you live 50 miles. What?
Yeah.
That was strange to me.
That is weird.
Whatever. He comes by at night and he's like, listen, I'm going to hand this to you. This is what I think you should do. You should probably think about making a statement. And what we mean by a statement is an apology.
Right. Admitting that you're wrong and that you apologize for your actions. And she's like, no.
Well, she seeks counsel. She goes to talk to a lawyer.
Which I'm so glad. That was very smart on her part.
Yeah. And the lawyer's like, I think you have a case here, but I just want to let you know these things get dragged out and this can go on for a really long time. Are you sure this is what you want to do?
Right. Like years.
And so obviously she's frustrated by this. And throughout this whole episode too, you have Julie, who just wants to go to Habitat for Humanity. She brings it up to Tami and she tells her like, hey, I could graduate early. It's $3,000. It's in 3 weeks. It's in New Orleans. Can we discuss this? And Tami's like, no.
Right, because she's not going to finish the semester.
But she says she can graduate early, and she could finish early, and she was just going to take electives anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, Tami wasn't happy with that.
No, but coach says like, hey, if you go easy on your mom this week, I will see what I can do, and we'll discuss this whole
about
house
the building of the houses thing.
But they also aren't letting her in. This kind of annoyed me.
I agree. And she was just like, okay, walks away.
Yeah.
All right, I made you guys dinner. Anything you want to tell me? Walks away. Like, she just can't, they just don't want to give in to talking to her about any of it. Right. It's like she is right there. She lives in the town. She knows what's happening.
Right.
It's not like she doesn't read, see the article in the paper.
I know. It kind of threw me, and she just keeps walking in and asking, and they're like, it's fine.
Right.
Especially in the last scene when coach gets home and Tami's on her laptop and gets another phone call, and coach just like breaks the phone.
Right. And then she hears it and she comes out. She's like, is everything okay in here? You were fine.
Yeah.
Obviously you're not.
Right. And also Tami comes to the decision that she is going to make a statement. We don't know what kind of statement.
If I know her, she's not apologizing. She would rather give up her job than apologize for something that morally she did not do.
Correct. I like where your head's at.
Yeah. And it's what's crazy is, if Tami goes, I don't know what she'll do after that, but it doesn't look like Coach. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen there. Are they both gonna like lose a job at the same time? Like that could be really bad. Not that he would get fired, but maybe he would. I don't know. If the Lions don't win, what does that say about Coach?
Yeah.
I mean, I know how I feel about him, but the town has to win, or the school.
Right. Right. And also, like, Levi's just giving him shit about that, too. Like, oh, everywhere you go, trouble goes.
Yeah.
It's just annoying. He's annoying me, too. I'm just, like, very agitated this episode. I think we all are.
Yeah, we were a little triggered by some things.
We're a little triggered. Okay, so Vince is attending Calvin's funeral. It's so sad. Calvin's mom grabs Vince and is like, I wish he was more like you. That broke me.
Yeah. And Vince just crying. They both crying in each other's arms.
Yeah. And Jess also attends. So she's being a very big support system to Vince. Because obviously we've seen, like, in the beginning, we're like, we don't understand their connection. And now it's growing.
Like, but I also was like, where did it come from?
It's years.
Right, years. So it's like, it's nice to see that they did grow up in the same town. They did run in the same tracks. And their neighborhood knows them. Like, they just know each other from being in the neighborhood. And I'm sure at one point their families were maybe closer. So it's all making sense, and I'm glad that we're finally getting there, because I was like, this is so random.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, this is hot. But also, I love Landry and Jess, so we're in a little dill pickle.
Yeah, we're in it. Yeah, I know. We truly are in a pickle. Jess wants Vince to go to the police. Like, go talk to them for what happened. He's like, I can't go to the police because if I go to the police, I'm going to jail.
Right. He has no chances left.
Right. And so he still has to pay his dues. We see Kennard multiple times being like, this is what we have to do. We're going to get payback. And Jess clocks this. On the night when he's supposed to go out, or he does go out with Kennard, Jess shows up and she's like, what are you doing? You can't do this. She sees him go and grab the gun.
She sees him load it up and like cock it back and like get it in his pocket ready to go out.
Yeah. And he's like, why are you here? You don't know who I am. She's like, I know who the good guy is inside. And he's like, I'm a monster. And he like, kind of scares her.
And she also was there for talking to Landry because Vince had talked to Landry.
Correct. That's right.
So like, it was multiple reasons. She's like, I know what you're doing. And also I really know what you're doing.
What did you think about that? Because Landry earlier at practice says his condolences to Vince for Calvin passing.
Which was a very genuine and mature thing to do. Landry's not playing the game, even though he knows what the game is. He sees that Jess is attracted to Landry.
You think
Jess is attracted to Vince. I think he knows that there's something there.
Yeah.
And while he, quote, got the girl, he's still a decent human being, and he sees that someone is grieving, and Jess was a part of that, and Jess is his supposed girlfriend, so something that's affecting his girlfriend is important to him,
right?
And so Vince is also important to her. Therefore, I feel like it was a very normal reaction for Landry to be like, hey, I'm so sorry about Calvin, and actually I do know his last name, and I knew he was your friend, so I'm just saying sorry. And then as soon as he walked away, Vince was like, I appreciate that. Like, oh, thank you.
Like, you're a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And we do see like these sweet moments before all this too. Like Landry gives Jess a bicycle.
Oh my God. So sweet.
So sweet. Aunt Bird makes a comment like, that bike's going to need a lock.
What's the deal with Aunt Bird?
Aunt Bird, welcome.
She's randomly came in here.
Welcome.
She's fierce. I'm loving it.
We love Aunt Bird. Yeah. She's like going to be that background parental figure.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Mother F. I got the vibe from you when I
couldn't help it.
Oh my God. That is so beyond devastating to me.
Strange, huh?
It hurts me very much in my soul. I was not ready for this.
If people catch on, people catch on.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it for newbies.
Okay, great.
Okay. Yes. So then Jess makes Landry a playlist. Super cute. Play this for when you're practicing. You're kicking.
It's like crowds cheering.
Crowd noise.
I love that.
Listen to it. So you'll get used to what it sounds like. So very sweet. So Vince clocks this, and that's when he says to Landry, like, "You're a good guy."
Right. And again, I don't like Landry. I didn't think it was malicious. I didn't think
No.
it was in a way of like,
No.
be good to her, okay? Or like
Mm-mm.
kind of like watching the situation unfold and kind of waiting for it to fizzle out.
Right.
I didn't feel like it was that way. It
Right.
very well might have been in Vince's eyes, but I don't think it was that way.
I don't think so. I think Vince is conflicted. He's just trying to like first off, his mom is his priority, football is his priority, the Lions are the priority. I really have feelings for Jess, but I'm trying to stay good.
Right.
Can't get
And I think
involved.
she's great and she deserves everything. And
Right.
therefore, if Landry can give it to her, that's cool with me, even though it hurts.
Yeah.
And then when they have that whole big blowout and she comes to make sure he's not doing anything crazy, even though she knows that's what he was gearing to do, she's like, I know you. Oh, you're such a tough guy. Like, I don't believe that. And he's like, yeah, I am actually. Like, I'm not good for you. I'm not good.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's bullshit.
Right. And so he goes off with Kennard, and we learn a little bit more about Vince. Kennard talks about how his dad was. His dad was like the toughest of the tough. And he always looked at Vince as being like a wuss.
Mm.
He gives them the gun. They explain the situation of how they're going to go about this. Oh, take a swig as they're in the car. And then Vince gets out and he's like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I'm
I was
not
so
doing this.
glad.
My mom's not supposed to bury me.
Yeah.
And Kennard scares him a little bit. Like he shoots off, into a building. He doesn't shoot him, which at
Yeah.
first, I have to admit, at first I was like, oh my God, did he just shoot Vince?
Yeah. It looked like he might have.
But he pretty much said, like, yo, your dues aren't paid. So
Right. Like, I know where you are. I know where you live.
it's not over.
It's not over for me.
Mhm.
Kennard, move on with your life, bro. Move on.
But also,
Especially if you knew his dad. How the fuck old are you? How
right,
old are you?
right. And also, logistically, like he got $4,000. Like Vince got $4,000 from him. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be cool to let him go.
I know.
But like, are you in with the family too? Even though, like, were you close to this dad? That's right.
Right.
We
Is
just
it
knew him
like
from like the streets. I don't know.
It's weird.
I don't know. But anyway, so Vince goes back. Jess is waiting there, and he says, "I didn't do it." And so they just
Embraced and
and
it was really
embraced.
nice.
And like, I love Jess and Landry, but like, I love Jess and Vince too. So
I know. I'm really conflicted.
there's chemistry all around.
Lots of chemistry. I mean, when you have great actors, there's going to be chemistry. But
Correct.
other
Correct.
like some pairings we just gravitate towards more than others. This, however, is very tricky.
Right.
And while I obviously, if it was me, I'm going to go for her Landry only because I think Landry is the bee's knees. You know, he is my number one, cannot do any wrong in my book. He's never failed me. So it's hard to see if they were to end things, but I would understand too.
Yeah.
Like we knew this was like too good to be true.
I know.
You know? And I really love Jess. Like it's nothing against Jess.
Mm-mm.
I really like I'm very quickly having her come higher and higher and higher on my like top favorite characters.
And when Tyra and Landry were together, we constantly had some issues with that because we saw how Tyra treated Landry like a doormat. Jess is not doing that.
No, I think emotionally, maybe a little bit. Like she does, like subconsciously.
I think she just doesn't know.
Right, she doesn't know how
Yeah.
she feels, and she's trying to reciprocate what he's given to her, and it's like it's some of it's coming naturally, but I don't think all of it's coming naturally to her.
Yeah.
So she's not outwardly like manipulating it because she doesn't know how to do that. For Tyra, it was like she knew kind of how to manipulate it, which was unfortunate for Landry.
I agree. Yeah. So Tim, as we know, he's no
Oh,
longer
Tim.
living in Cheryl's trailer.
Yeah, where is he?
Living at Riggins Riggs. Maybe he's
guess.
living with Tim. With
Billy?
Billy and Mins. I'm not sure. But Becky brings Skeeter back and the stuff and says like, oh, and the snow globe. It was like, oh, and we also get a little nugget there. I don't know if you caught that.
The
Like
mommy snow globe.
the mommy snow globe. Yeah. Cheryl is still pissed.
Of course.
Gets a call. Baby is on its way. Which all these baby scenes were incredibly heartwarming. Also very like the comic relief.
Absolutely. And Billy and Tim are always that too.
They really are. They like make you cry, but also make you laugh.
Yes.
In like the same scene. And so we have Billy in his banana hammock. He can't get his pants on. Mins has got to go to the hospital. Tim is just so excited to be an uncle.
He's up.
He's me. This is how I was. I get it,
know.
Tim Riggins. I get it.
I get it too. No, I totally get it, but it's just sweet to see it coming from him.
Yeah. And and we have scenes at the hospital. Tim's waiting outside, and Billy runs out in his scrubs. He's like, they won't let me in. And then finally, Billy's like, I gotta go in. And Tim's like, I've been waiting like 38 hours for this. Yeah. You gotta go. And so then Stephen Hannibal Riggins is born.
Yeah. I hope we get some BTS with that at some point because I'm very confused.
Yeah, I'll have to do a little research and see where Hannibal came from.
Yeah.
It's an interesting choice for a middle name.
Yeah. And Stephen, like, where did you get Stephen from?
Maybe it's based off a writer or someone who worked on the show.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'll report back.
Yes,
next week.
Do.
I promise. So we have this like really, really sweet Tim and Billy scene when the baby comes home and they're looking over the crib and there's just tears and Billy's just like, I can't believe like how does he sleep like that? Like they're just in awe of this gorgeous baby.
Right. As when you're a first time parent, first time uncle, like you look at this baby like you are alive in the world and you're so little and you're just sleeping all the time and your little yawn is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Like
the cutest.
It's just birth, little babies.
Yeah.
So special.
And so Tim tells Billy like stay home. Like enjoy being a father.
One day. I'm like, one day.
I got it. No problem. And Tim's just overlooking and he's just like so happy. Like Tim, everything's coming up Tim.
Yeah, this is Tim's episode.
Sure.
So happy.
Yeah. So then Tim goes to his land, his massive land.
With like creeks in it. I'm like, where the hell? What are you going to do with this property?
And Becky's there for whatever reason. I don't know why Becky is there.
Same. I don't know why Becky is there. It makes me uncomfortable every time she is there.
But Tim says, like, I'm so happy to be an uncle. I have the land. We're getting more work. Like, I am just really happy. And then Becky's like, Tim, I love you.
But Tim, dude, I love you.
And then Tim says,
we can't do this. We can't do this.
Huh.
Not the phrase I would have preferred from this man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Leads me to believe that he does deep down have a little feeling for her.
I think
but it ultimately is overpowered by like the sibling feeling. Like
yes,
this whole like I've been with so much. I've done so much with this person and her family,
right?
And they have helped me out in a time of need, and I know I don't need her, but there's something about her that I like, and then maybe I do need, but like it's not her. So I think he just likes that.
The feeling. And that's sister and family.
Right. And he's like, we can't do that though. Like not
I wish he would have just said, you're my sister and I love you like that.
Right. Like I love you like a sister. So same.
Right. Right.
Like, oh yeah, I love you too like a sister. You're my family, right? Like I can't lose you because you're my family. Not like that we can't do it because it's not right. It's like, no, you can't do it because you don't feel it. And if you didn't feel it, you wouldn't have said that.
Right. It just
I don't like it. It leads like an open door for her.
Exactly. It's like kind
of
a
not
mixed
a shutting
signal.
Exactly. You're not shutting the door.
I truly did not remember how far and how long this whole Tim and Becky thing goes on for.
I know, you kept like reassuring me. Like,
I really did.
It's done.
I mean, because I knew it didn't go anywhere, but it's just so annoying. And I think it would have been better received if it was just written a little bit differently.
I agree. I think out of the entire show so far, this point, we drove it home way too much. It's into the ground.
It's too much.
It's overexhausted. I feel like I'm watching Gossip Girl.
And we like Becky, and I
absolutely. It's nothing against her.
Character. It's just like perhaps we can drop this whole
Her
Tim
and
Riggins
Luke
thing.
and the baby situation, way more entertaining
Agreed.
than this.
Agreed.
Even her with the pageant stuff, or her with her dad, like anything else. I'm just not, and it has nothing to do with how much I'm in love with Tim Riggins. Okay,
No.
it's nothing to do with this. I'm not jealous. I just don't get excited to watch it because it's so redundant, and like you said, if it's not going anywhere, why are we still doing it? It's frustrating.
It's really frustrating. But so Tim, he calls it off with her, goes back to the shop, is playing music, air guitar, drinking beers. Life is good. And then the cops show up.
Yeah, life's not good anymore. And you did tell me like there will be repercussions this time. I'm like, it's gonna happen now because the life is good for both boys.
That's right. So it's time to crash it down. And I mean, we knew it was coming. Like you could feel it in this episode. Like there's no way that Tim is winning right now.
No.
Something needs to happen. Like it's too good.
And
it's
I said,
too good.
How sweet that Tim's dream is, he's owning his own property. Life is good. I'm an uncle. Like life is good.
I'm gonna go to trade school.
Like that is all he has ever wanted and he got it.
That's it.
And his dog Skeeter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, ripped from under you because you did a stupid thing.
And so
and not one time.
Oh
more
no.
than
this
one
is
time.
a whole situation. And so him and Billy, they get called in and Billy is obviously beside himself and he just says, "I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
I feel
as you should be.
Right, but I actually also feel for Billy. I think there should be repercussions, but I love Billy so much and I think Derek plays him so well.
He does.
You feel for him because at the
He's
end of
a
the day,
lovable idiot.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say. He's a lovable idiot.
Yep.
And same with Tim too. You feel for Tim.
He's also a lovable idiot, but he seems to be a little bit smarter.
Pinky in the brain.
Shocking. Exactly.
Yeah.
Pinky in the brain. Yeah. Sad. While I feel like they should be punished for what they did, it's still like, watching this new father and new uncle and having such a great life and and they got that money because of it.
Right.
And then Tim says, "Oh, the Riggins Riggs shop is doing really well." I'm like, interesting. So you couldn't just wait the little bit of time for it to kind of pick up?
Well, they probably didn't know it was gonna pick up.
Yeah.
Mindy needed the medication and the insurance. They didn't have any insurance.
I know.
All the things.
It's frustrating.
It's very frustrating. But we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we have our patron Vic joining us. Right, welcome back from break. We're joined by our Total Betty patron, Vic. Hi, Vic.
Hey.
Welcome back. How are you doing?
Good.
She's wearing her Total Betty sweatshirt that we love. That's like a classic. That's like a 2-year-old style. It's got Total Betty and rainbow. It's a good one.
Yes, it does.
And it's really comfy and very warm.
Oh, good.
Thanks, Vic. She's selling it. How you liking where season 4 is headed? I mean, finale is next week, which is crazy.
Oh my God. It's so sad. I forgot it was so sad near the end.
Yeah. I know. This episode was such a bummer.
It killed the mood.
Yeah.
I was so excited to watch it. And I was just like, that's just ruined my day.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
I know. It's so heavy. But before we get into questions from our listeners, Kate also sent you rapid fire, which I can't wait because you're always sending everyone rapid fire. But I wanted to start with you if you had any questions regarding this episode or notes, comments.
I actually only had 2.
Yeah.
My first one is I'm really pissed about the whole Tami thing. So would you issue an apology if it meant keeping your job, or would you kind of stand by, what you believe?
I'd say I'll find another job.
Yeah, I wouldn't say an apology.
I wasn't wrong.
It's not even worth it. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If she issues an apology, and that's the problem. If she issues that apology, it's like admitting she did something wrong.
Right.
Right. And even so, it's how she feels in an opinion. So how is that wrong?
Right.
Just because you feel that it's wrong, that's your opinion.
Yeah, and she didn't even do anything wrong. She listened.
Right. She didn't even.
She gave options. She didn't say do this, do that.
Right.
I was just like, her harassing her and I'm like doing the apology, that just makes it worse because it's gonna prove to Luke's mom, see, I was right.
Right.
You know, what she did was wrong. And so her apologizing, I don't agree with that. So when he said, what statement is that? And she just looks at him, I'm like, I don't remember, but I hope it's not an apology.
I didn't remember either. I watched the finale a couple of weeks ago and I was like, oh my gosh, all of this is coming back to me.
Did you like it?
I love it.
Oh, it's a good finale. Okay,
it is a good finale. Yeah, I really like it. But I've liked all of them so far.
That's
so,
true.
Going off of that, because a lot of people asked that question, Vic, about what we would do in that situation, how we felt. What do you think is going to happen?
I think she's going to make a statement about how what she said was not incorrect. It was not right or wrong. It was her advice. Again, she was advised by the school board to give to a student, even though this person is not even her student. So she truly doesn't even owe them an explanation at all. I think, yeah, she'll make a statement. It won't go over well, but she'll close the chapter, and walk out and say, well, I hope I still have a job. If not, then that's cool too. And also, maybe I don't want to work with these people. Maybe this is not my calling anymore. Maybe I need to do something better with my time that's more rewarding and valuable. Like, she's had to go through hell this year. Just to be the Panther, just to be the Dylan principal. Is it worth it? Is it worth all the stress and the headaches and the anxiety and agita and not having a relationship with your children and your husband? And it's just a very straining thing to have in your life, to have a job that's so demanding of you and for you not even to be happy doing it anymore. Why do it?
That's true. I mean, I think she loves the kids.
Right. But you can help kids in another way.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll see what happens. You will get an answer next week.
She's my girl. I know she'll do right by me.
That's right.
And then my second one was when Eric grabs the phone and starts smashing it. Have you guys ever broken a phone?
Oh my God, what a great question. I have not, but growing up, my sister was an angry child and she would break things. Like, she broke her hair straightener. She kicked a hole in my bedroom door. She got so mad and I just hear like this like she was chiseling her foot in that door and my parents refused to fix the hole in my door. And they're like, nope. And she punched holes in her wall. She punched a hole.
Oh my God.
Yeah, in my mom's laundry room.
Yes.
She's broken a lot of things.
Yeah. She's got a lot of anger.
She was angsty.
She was she's a very anxious person. She's got a lot of like fidget energy that she doesn't have like no spatial awareness like of her body movements, so like she could be like and like slap you in the face. I have that a little bit too. So.
We always say she's a bull in a china shop.
A bull in a china, like without a doubt, that is her to a T. My mom has always called her a bull in a china shop.
Oh my God.
But no, I don't think I've ever broken a phone.
Have you, Vic?
I've never broken
a
phone. I've never broken a phone, but I've slammed a phone against the wall. Yeah.
Because
I thought it was broken. Like, it wasn't working. And instead of getting frustrated, putting down, I'm like, it's not working. And I just started slamming it against the wall. And I was like, oh, I think it's definitely not going to work now. Yeah. But no, it didn't break.
I used to have, my first cell phone. It was a Motorola. And a Motorola that came out real. My Long Island is showing. And it kind of, I have to find a picture of it, but I used to go like this with it a lot. And that probably wasn't good for connectivity. I wasn't trying to break it, but I would just like fling it around a lot. Yeah.
But I was that kid that if you crash into a wall or something, I punch it or kick it. Like, that was me.
Yeah.
Like, it's not their fault. But you're like, hit your hand right on the doorknob and I take off my shoe. And my mom's like, what are you doing? I was like, the door just hit my hand. She's like, the door? I was like, okay, I could have walked around it, but I didn't.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes I have a little bit of anger issues, but never broken a phone.
Yeah.
I get that way too.
I know Liz said when he did that and the nonstop phone call, she's like, can they just change their number? And then that's also giving in.
Right. That's also
That's what I
giving
say.
in.
If you disconnect it, if I'm like, oh, you just take it off the line and be like, but that's just giving in. You either disconnect it, you change the number. It's like
I feel
letting
like
them walk
Coach
over
is
you.
doing a really good job of like not letting people see him sweat in this, at least in this episode, and like he's just doing a very good job of like looking calm, cool, and collected on the outside and not trying to give in to anything. Like he's just doing his absolute best to not give in. So this should be interesting next week.
Yeah.
Even Tami, I'm like,
yeah,
Tami's so calm even when she's yelling. I'm like, I would have been in my room screaming into the pillow, like, why are they attacking me? Why is this happening? And she's just like, who is this on the phone? Or she'll be like, come on. And I'm just like, really? I would be really mad and yelling, but I guess she doesn't want to give in to them either.
Yeah. I mean, even so much where they vandalized Coach's truck.
yeah.
And he was just like, nope. And he drove, I mean, he cleaned it, but he was also driving with like the windshield wiper fluid was cleaning it off. And but he can't tune it out either because we see him still listening to Sammy Slam and Sammy. And so he's constantly hearing it when you would think he would just kind of like zone out, but he still has to be a part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh. I guess like to hopefully try and get the upper hand. Like,
yeah,
I'm going to be prepared for whatever you have to say, whenever you're going to say it. It's hard. It's so stressful.
It's so stressful.
Yeah. Even when he's angry, he talks so calmly.
Oh, yeah.
Which is shocking because you can see, we've seen in the past, like how Coach can react to things. And this time it's like I think he just knows there's so much at stake here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the history of, him leaving the Panthers and getting a new job and then coming back and then not going, keeping the first game with the Lions. So he's got a lot running on him.
Yeah. Ooh. Are you ready for rapid fire, Vic?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is sent in by Kate. So here we go. Jason or Luke?
Oh, Jason.
Okay.
Ooh.
Tim or Billy?
Tim.
Better after school job, Ray's Barbecue or Alamo Freeze?
If I can get discount on all that Alamo Freeze, I'd probably work there. Ice cream.
So
Same. I'm not dealing with meat. Jance or Jinx? Jess and Lance or Jess and Vince?
See, that one's confusing because I really like what Jess and Landry have, but she's always making herself towards Vince. Like she's got to pull towards him. I'm like, why does she need to go? Oh, why do you need to tell him that he's good for me? I'm like, what do you care? Like that's supposed to be your boyfriend. It doesn't matter what Vince says, but she keeps going to Vince. So I need to keep looking and see who I like more after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite new season 4 character?
Probably Vince, but I really like Luke. He's just like the nicest guy ever.
Or Luke.
He doesn't do anything wrong. So I might actually pick Luke over Jason.
Oh, man.
Who would you pick?
Sweetest kid ever.
I know he is so sweet. Probably Jason.
No, I'm like, who's your favorite addition?
Oh, to season 4? Ooh, I love probably Vince, but I love Jess and I love Virgil.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Becky's just declining.
Yes.
Oh, Becky.
When she first came on, I was like, I want to say I do remember her and she's like really cute and stuff, but there's a moment I don't like her and I don't remember why. And now I know why.
Well, she like really declined from the beginning of the season.
Would you guys say she's your least favorite?
Yeah, I think so. I would say that she's my least favorite, but that's only because of the story they're giving her. It's awful.
Yeah.
They're giving her nothing, essentially, I should say.
Yeah. Most missed OG character?
Tyra.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think so.
Okay. Favorite parent?
Tami.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll pick Tami too. And then last one, least favorite parent.
McCoy is included in
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Ew.
His name McCoy.
This was season 1. I'd be picking Buddy Garrity, but y'all already know that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Buddy, but I'm like, is McCoy in the list?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. He's the worst, Joe. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
She has a question. Do you have a song that you like to use to hype yourself up for something?
Not kind of like a Rocky theme or anything,
Sure, you could pick that.
but there's this one song I really love. It's not really hype myself up, but it's more like kind of like when you're in a down mood or you just need to listen to something to perk you up. From Jimmy Eat World, In the Middle. I just love that song.
Oh,
I don't know why, but it's just like every time I hear it, I'm like Tim in The Thing, just rocking out with the fake guitar. I love it. I don't know what it is about it. It like brightens up my day.
Yeah, I have a video. I mean, I don't think I still have it, but it was on like VHS of my sister as a kid, like singing that song and her little sweet voice. And it just always reminds me of that song. And I'm like, that song is so great.
I love
It's
Jimmy
just like,
Eat
it's a good
World.
pump up.
That's really. Do you have a song? A pump up song?
I don't think I have like a specific song that I would put on. Like anything like 90s boy band, Ace of Base, like that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Gets me excited.
Yeah, I think it depends on the season for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you, Kate. Over to Mike. Your parents have let you spend a semester building homes when you were in grade 12. Absolutely not.
No.
No.
School comes first.
Yeah, what are they doing? Are they clapping up there? Can you hear them, Vic?
The boys are playing D&D.
Yeah, it's D&D
something.
night.
Yeah.
I want to say maybe I would be able to kind of weasel my way into that.
Really?
If it's not like she's going to like.
It's in New Orleans. It's like away.
And it's only $3,000.
I know it's only $3,000.
But it was for 3 weeks though.
She's leaving it. It's in 3 weeks.
She's gonna miss school.
Yeah,
Right.
I guess no. I guess my mom wouldn't let me do that.
Wow. I don't think G would. I don't want to speak for your mom though.
No.
Did your high school pull any pranks or had any pulled in them for a rival school?
Oh.
For sure, but I don't remember any of them. And actually, Lisa, she wrote and she said it reminded her of when they used to do plastic forks in her school for pranks, like in the lawn.
I think we only did like senior prank.
Yeah.
I don't remember like any other schools doing it, but like the seniors each year would do like a senior prank.
Right. I don't know what they did. I wasn't a part of it.
I don't remember what they did either, but I think they put something in the toilet and they got in really big trouble for it. Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't remember what it was.
Vic,
like, but a rival school?
What about your school?
I mean, I supported my friends who were football players, but I was never part of that scene.
Yeah.
But like never to like graffiti and things like that I've heard of, from like a different school when they like graffiti your lockers and stuff like that. Yeah. But no, not that I know of.
Right.
I always think of Saved by the Bell when they steal the bulldog.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's what I was thinking when they take the mascot.
I'm trying to think of their other senior pranks like in like movies and shows.
They also did that on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I think they took the mascot too.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
That was a thing. And it's weird to think that schools have the mascot.
Sabrina, what are you talking about, Liz? You don't remember?
I know. I was like, I don't remember.
Yeah. It's only because it was a fresh rewatch.
Yeah. Rochelle literally just came off a rewatch.
I did. Yeah.
You did? Okay.
Then he says a question for Mitch, me, maybe more for Sam, my sister. Was Bill Bob as hyper as Billy was in this episode and getting asked to leave a little calmer when your nephew was born? And then Vic, what about your husband? Oh my God. I just remember Sam telling me when she was going through her labor that Bobby was eating some kind of trail mix from Trader Joe's and the scent nauseated her and she screamed at him to like stop it. Which I could really
yeah.
But he was there for the whole time.
He's like oddly calm at like situations you don't think he would be, and then he's like hyper in others. Just like that's how Bobby is. Yes, very.
It's like
very
clueless of what's happening.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm supposed to feel emotion here? Okay.
Right. Right. Yeah. What about you, Vic?
Well, mine were all C-sections, so they were supposed to be all planned.
Okay.
So my first one it went right. But for my daughter, I was just feeling some pain and I didn't know why. So he's like, I'm going to take you to the doctor, see what's going on, not panicking or whatever. But then he's kind of like looking back and forth because they're just like whispering to each other. And we're like, okay, what's going on? You know? And then he goes, oh, right back. And then he goes back outside and he's like, can you like tell her what's going on? Because she's starting to freak out, you know? But he was like really calm and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. We're going to wheel you in like 20 minutes because your water broke. I was like, oh, that's nice to know. And so he's like, I got your mom. I'll go get the bag because it wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
But with
Yeah.
Alex, my youngest, he came early and I don't know what contractions are supposed to feel like. I didn't know what pain's supposed to feel like. That's why it's a C-section because, you know, you cannot have them the natural way. So I went through the pain on my own and waited till the very last minute to wake him up and tell him it was time to go to the hospital. I don't know why I did that. My friend's like, girl, you didn't wake him up when you started pain. I was like, no, I was holding on to the closet rod while I put my jeans on and then bracing for another contraction.
Jeans. You're like, I'm just getting myself ready and then I'll wake him up.
I couldn't find any dresses. And then as soon as I thought I was ready, then I woke him up and he shot out and he's like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, I think it's time to go. So he's like, give me 1 second, goes to my mother-in-law's room where she was like taking care of me. And he's like, watch the kids. I'm taking her to the hospital. Very calm. And I'm like, am I breathing right? Because I don't even know how to breathe. And we get to the hospital and he's just like sitting in the chair while I'm in pain. And they're asking me all these questions because you're supposed to do all that ahead of time. So since he came early, I didn't know. And so I'm like, can't he answer those questions? And they're like, no. And I think the only thing I said is, will you hold my damn hand? You're too calm over there. Like, I'm over here. I need something. And he's like, yeah, I'll hold your hand. But he was like really calm throughout the whole thing.
That's great. I mean, that's what I would hope. You want your partner to be calm and there for you.
Yeah.
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 If you were to make your husband's a playlist on your iPod, what songs would be on there? What would be on for Rand's?
Well, I would torture him and put emo stuff, but because he doesn't like that.
Oh.
Neither does my husband.
Yeah. Randy's variety of music is very interesting. I probably put like 90s grunge just because we both like that. And then I throw in some like emo shit that he'd be like, ugh, and like turn off. And then he does like Justin Timberlake. So I would put some Justin Timberlake and a little bit of Taylor Swift and call it a day.
Vic, what about you?
Probably the grunge. All the like Nirvana and all that.
Yeah, that's
and he likes Imagine Dragons.
Oh, see, my husband hates Imagine Dragons.
I know he likes Imagine. My husband hates Muse.
Oh no,
no.
That's so
but yet he
sad
spent
for
a
you.
fortune. He spent a fortune to send me to a concert. So I forgave him for that. But yeah, and rap. He listens to a lot of rap. He's not into pop. He's not into anything else.
Yeah.
Mainly rap.
Aunt used to make me like the love mixes. Like when we first started dating, it was like the Aunt Love compilation.
Oh.
Yeah, so I would probably take stuff from there as a throwback. So a lot of like Of Montreal, Pinback. What else were we listening to? Like Aunt's into like Passion Pit.
Yeah, Aunt likes very.
He's into. He also loves Wu-Tang.
He does love Wu-Tang.
Big Wu-Tang fans. I'd probably put some of that on there.
I remember that story.
Old school indie. Yeah. What's going to happen with Tim and Billy? Liz, this one's for you.
Oh yeah, obviously. Well, do you remember what happens with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I know you like in the larger scheme, but like this direct.
Yeah, this is actually the one thing I remembered.
The one storyline?
Wow.
Yeah, that when it for season 4
Wow.
going into 5. Yeah, this is the one thing that I
Okay.
remembered.
Well, I mean, they're not going to be in jail forever.
You think both of them are going?
Aren't they like essentially in there now? Oh, I mean,
They're
I guess
holding
they're in
for questioning. Yeah.
I don't know. Can they get like a plea deal for like
They
working?
could.
You know, like
Then
giving
they would
up
admit they're guilty.
Yeah,
Right.
it's true.
Yep.
Admitting who got them involved with this or who else is involved or something like that. I can't foresee it. I mean, I can see obviously going a million ways. I feel like every time I make a prediction, I'm like, it's 50-50 this way or that way. But hey, I mean, they could both go to jail and serve some time. And then we go into season 5 and it's like some time has passed and we're like, okay, well, all right. Or they serve a few months or they don't serve at all. And I don't know how high, like, on the criminal justice system, like, where this crime
Right.
falls as far as, like, how much jail time can you just get probation? Can you just get, an ankle monitor? Like, what? Well, I wish I knew more to make a prediction, like a solid prediction on that.
Okay. You can, I mean, next
Yeah,
week.
it's too hard to make a prediction.
Alrighty.
It's only a couple missing cars.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
But
Exactly.
that they stole from people, right?
Well, they stole the cars. Yeah.
Right? Like these other people stole the cars. They bring the
Right.
cars to them.
Right.
Yeah.
They take it
and then
away,
they took
take
them
the
apart.
parts,
Yeah.
and then they sell the parts.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they don't directly sell it, but someone else will sell it. It's like they're literally just taking the cars apart, essentially, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
they had to hide
The
shells.
bones.
Right. The
Yeah,
shells that
the
they
shells.
that they buried, which
Mhm.
is still so ridiculous
Oh,
to me.
Yep.
Thank you, Mike. Lisa sent me a great email, all of her thoughts. I was so happy to see her name. And she's like, every time I think to send an email, it's too late, but I'm watching and I'm here. So she wants to know your thoughts on Julie and Habitat for Humanity. Will she go, or is Matt going to magically show up next week and convince her to graduate and move to Chicago? I feel like they are probably endgame, so they have to get back together somehow. Season finale seems like a good time for it.
I agree, Lisa. I don't think she'll move to Chicago. She's only 17. She can't move for a boy to Chicago. No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think, while I would love to see Matt in the finale, I don't know if we're getting that since we just had him.
Next week, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and next week's finale.
Got it. Okay.
I still feel as though, hey, maybe no OG couples are endgame. I'm taking back what I said. I don't think that Mules is endgame anymore.
Oh no. Okay. All right.
Forget it. Maybe I'll just change my mind back again next week. That's because I'm mad at Matt right now, as
I
you
know.
guys know.
I agreed though. I agreed with you last week when you were saying that. I'm like, yeah. You're like, I'm so mad, but I love Matt.
Right,
I was like, I know, I'm so mad at you.
And I feel like Julie, obviously, while she deserves better, it's Matt. And like, Julie fucked up a couple times.
She did.
Matt's
Well, no,
allowed
yeah,
to
don't
have
forget
his
that.
mess up too.
Yeah.
The
So
way he
maybe
went
she
about
can,
it was wrong.
right.
Like
I
he
just
could have
don't-
called her way sooner.
Exactly. And I don't think she needs to figure that out right now when she's only 17 years old. Like, she has her whole life to be like, hey, Matt, I thought about it when I'm 21, 22, 23, 24, 30. Hey, I thought about it. We're good, right? Like, we could be together now. But 17, you're just figuring out exactly what you're doing with your life. If that, I mean, if you're lucky. So, yeah, I don't think he's going to convince her to go back to go to Chicago with him. I think it will do her some good to do a Habitat for, like, that's just, when we think about Julie, she's like, I don't know, like a little crunchy, a little like cool. And I feel like Habitat for Humanity would be like fitting for her.
Yeah.
That's all, maybe
Wherever
college is
she's
not for
going.
everyone. She doesn't have to go to college to be something.
She doesn't have to go to Boston.
Doesn't have to go anywhere.
Right?
But that Habitat for Humanity, is that guy going to be there too, or is he somewhere else already?
He's on the island, right? Okay. Like he's not coming back. Ryan.
Ryan, that was his name.
Yeah, I know.
I know, we're
so
always like Psycho
forgettable.
Derek.
She wasn't, I don't think, if I'm right about Julie, I don't think she would be the type to follow a boy anywhere. She's very independent. And so even if Ryan was like, hey, I'm going to be there too, she'd be like, okay, I'm going for me anyway. Same thing with Matt is what I'm hopeful for.
I think they just had the conversation like, he's going to go. Obviously, she was sad when they broke up or whatever, but he could have said something like, I don't know what's going to happen, but like, I still love you. You know how they were talking about they still love each other. He's like, I'm I think I just need a few weeks to clear my head, try to settle in, to like just have the conversation.
All he could have said.
Just have the
All he
conversation.
had to say is, I'm going to settle. I'll call you when I'm ready. Just the conversation, not just surprise her out of the blue. And hey, so I got an apartment, and I'm like, oh,
yeah.
How are you? What do you mean? How am I? You just left me.
Because he's so young that he didn't know the words after grieving. Like, I just don't know how to say these things, so I'm just gonna leave and not have to say them, because I feel like if I say them, I might even mess it up. Yeah. Right? Like, I guess maybe until now, like maybe like truly until now, he felt like, oh my God, I actually know how I feel and I want to reevaluate things and I should reach out to Julie, right? Like, I love her and she loves me, so I'm going to try it out, not realizing like, oh, me grieving, which is obviously he's very allowed to do, messed up how I treated her.
Yeah.
But that's all that's all he had to do. Just leave her, let her be like, I don't know how I feel right now. I'm still, upset about my father. I don't want to say the wrong words, whatever. It didn't matter what he said, as long as he told her he was going to need some space to figure out what he was going to do with his life, but he still loved her and he would reach out when he could, because it was very heartbreaking for her to go into his grandma's house and find out that he talked to them literally the day after.
Yeah. Right. Like, oh, I'm all settled, got an apartment. Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, he's in Chicago. We talked to him. Like, that blindsided her. So that's why I'm like, yeah, she should have a right to be mad at him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We will see. Thank you, Lisa. So glad you're back. Will, he wants to know, if you were to be arrested, what outfit would you want to get your mug shots in? Please include at least 2 accessories and a color scheme. I would go with something from a Wes Anderson film like this, and he included a picture of Bill Murray from The Royal Tenenbaums. So, Vic, what outfit are you wearing in your mugshot? What's your color scheme?
Oh my God. It can go 2 ways. It can be just like looking very like, oh, I'm very innocent, I'm very professional, wearing like a blazer, or it could be very innocent and just wear like a t-shirt with a little headband that makes me look younger and be like, I don't belong in this prison. You obviously got the wrong person.
Yeah. She's thought this through.
I like it.
What would you do?
I'm thinking glasses, I'm going to count that as one accessory. And I like the idea of a headband or like pearl hoops. Doing like pearl hoops, and I'm going to do like a very like neutral toned, probably honestly just like a black t-shirt, fitted crop black t-shirt, pearl hoops, glasses. Yeah. So that's pretty much how I look every day.
Yeah, I feel like something neutral. And I feel like you don't really see much of the outfit though in the mugshot.
No.
But I obviously be in full beat, full glam.
Absolutely.
And yeah, just maybe like a cool slick like middle part bun.
Ooh, yes.
With like just looking edgy. But then again, maybe that would not work in my favor. So
you're supposed to scream you're innocent.
I know. But my face says I'm innocent. I won't make a harsh face.
It's so funny.
It always makes you look younger.
That's true. The headband. I like that. That's good. Thank you, Will. Thank you, everyone, for your questions. What was everybody's favorite quote? Vic, what did you like from this episode?
I liked when when Billy was telling if he's ready, and he's like, I've been waiting 38 hours for this. And then Billy's just like, I'm the dad. I'm the dad. And he's just like walking through the thing, like really upset. And they're like yelling at him. He's like, I'm the dad.
Yeah, I love the whole thing.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I just had, and that's my baby trying to claw its way out. Billy.
I didn't know babies clawed their way out.
And then he's like, she, and Tim's like, it. He's like, yeah, it.
Sticking with the Riggins, I have Mindy yelling, I don't care about your pants.
He's never wearing any pants.
It wasn't that damn banana
wearing
hammock.
a jacket. That's what was funny.
I know. Like, where are the pants? Where are the pants? Coach's corner. Vic, what do you have?
I thought the fact that Eric stepped out with Julie and saw his car vandalized and yet still took the time and looked at Julie and said, I want you to be easy on your mom this week.
Yeah.
She's going through a hard time. I'm like, not even addressing what's happening to his car. She's like, are you sure? He goes, no, I got it. But he's like, Tami. That's all he's focused on is Tami.
I love that. What
I
do you
like
have,
that
Liz?
too. I actually had Julie overall, kind of just like, all right, I'll be there to make you dinner. Can I do anything for you? Like, not even being her typical teenage self where she's kind of like blowing up that they're not talking to her. She's just like taking it in. She's like, okay. I mean, she very well might blow up next week. Like, hey, you guys are not talking to me. How do you think I'm supposed to feel? Blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
Every time I saw her on screen, she's just like, I'm
yeah.
like,
She for once like didn't roll her eyes, so I feel like it was a step up in the right direction, and she's trying to help out. So I felt like she was doing good there.
I love that we all.
What did
have
she
so
make
many
for
different-
dinner?
It was mac and cheese, right?
That's what it was, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it
I
looked
wouldn't
good.
complain with that.
It looked
Yeah,
really
I wouldn't
good.
complain about that.
Like cheesy and creamy. I chose Jess for giving Landry the iPod with just the crowd noise for him to practice.
Yeah.
It was really sweet. And that was like her trying to be a coach. Like, I believe in you. You can do this.
You're right, exactly.
And she's like, what's wrong with you guys? Have never done this before?
Yeah.
It's
And
fun.
they're all like making fun of Landry, like, ooh, I want to be in your shoes. He's like, yeah, you guys are jealous. I have such a hot girlfriend.
Okay, MVP and shittiest.
This was so
Vic, we'll
hard.
start with you. Who'd you choose for your MVP?
Said, say Tami for handling it with grace, but I gave it to Landry for giving Jess the bike. I thought that was the sweetest gesture.
Yeah, I
A
love
callback
it. Mm-hmm.
to the original, the way they met. I picked Coach actually. Did you as well?
No, I chose Tim, but we had a lot of votes for Mindy for giving birth, Jess and Vince. So many different choices, but I chose Tim.
Yeah,
just for being there for Billy and
Billy.
Go be a dad.
Go be a dad.
Aww.
But you chose Coach.
Yeah, I really liked him for the first time in a long time. I feel like this, and, he definitely has his moments in each season, but I wouldn't overall say he's like my favorite character.
Right.
But in this episode, I really just liked how he handled himself, handled his team, handled the sports. What was he called?
The board?
Yeah, not the board, but like the guy who was deciding where they could
The director?
I guess so.
Sports director?
But he's like, actually, to be fair, I've had, threats at my house, blah, blah, blah. And like just the way he stood up, he's like, no, this is actually a bigger issue than you're making it seem.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Oh, because he said it's just a football game.
Yeah, it's just a football game.
Yeah. Shittiest. Vic, who'd you pick?
Well, obviously I said McCoy.
Yeah. Across the board, it was McCoy, the Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers.
Yeah. Ugh.
Even Wade. Oh, if it's one of my players, it is your players, and you know it is.
But even to have the sheriff be like, "Oh, we're checking out all the trucks because nobody has the size tires on the team." Yeah.
And what's his name? Buddy is like, you know who it is.
You know who it is.
We know who it is.
We know. Yeah. Let's go into a booster of the week. Liz, who's our Lion booster?
Our booster is Gwen. Wow, what a throwback. When Michelle and I saw Gwen come through on Patreon, I was blown away. We were so excited, squealed like little girls, because Gwen was with us since Tree Hill Talk.
Yep.
And then she disappeared, which is cool. The content doesn't fit you, whatever. And now she's like, no, actually, I'm going back and listening to your podcast. And she joined Patreon again. So we just wanted to shout her out and say, we've missed you. Your energy is so welcomed. It's definitely been lacking, in the chat of like the Gwen energy. So we were so excited to have you back. So thank you.
I've
very
seen her on
much.
Discord a lot. I like
Yeah,
constantly reply to
she's
her.
all over it. Yeah.
No. Oh, that made that was the best part of my day.
Yeah, because I feel
when she
like,
joined.
you know, she doesn't know maybe some of our like newer patrons.
Right. Like the next tier.
The next generation, if you will. So it's like, it's sweet to see like our newbies and our oldies and everyone just kind of get together. And I just love it.
I know. Thanks, Gwen. Okay, so an emoji for this episode.
Oh, crap.
Baby boy.
Okay, yeah. Good one.
What do you think, Vic? You think that's a good choice?
Little Stevie Hannibal Riggins.
Yeah.
Stevie.
What's
Hannibal,
with that name, Vic?
Riggins.
What's with Hannibal?
I mean, Steven, I didn't even think it would. I thought he was going to name him Billy too, you know? But
Right.
Steven, I wasn't expecting. But Hannibal, I have no idea where he came up with that.
I kept thinking,
Yeah.
oh, he's going to name it Tim. Why?
Timmy too.
Timmy too.
That would have been cute.
That would have been so cute. But I just felt like, I don't know, with baby namings and stuff, you can get like really sentimental and name after people or for people or whatever. And so I don't know why I was expecting it to be after someone I knew.
Yeah.
Because you can obviously, a kid should have an original name if that's
Oh, yeah, of
the
course.
parents want. But I was like, oh, they didn't name the baby Tim? Like, I don't know why my brain went there.
Mins would have went for that though.
No.
To name him Tim.
I'm
They
gonna do some
Tyra.
I'm gonna do some research and see if I can find anything about little Hannibal.
name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get to listen to Clear Eyes Full Hearts of this episode yet. They might talk about it. I don't know how they wouldn't.
Right. How do you not?
Eric and Stacey are 100% going to talk about this name. So I will report back next week. But what you can do with that little baby emoji is you can stick it in an Apple Podcast review if you're enjoying the podcast and you haven't already. Please head over to Apple Podcasts, rate us 5 stars. Just put in that little baby emoji. And just title it Stephen Hannibal Riggins.
Yeah, there you go. We've made it to Stephen Hannibal.
That's it. That's all you have to write.
Or if you don't want to spoil, you can just be like SHR.
We'll know what it means. And then put that baby emoji. We would so appreciate that. And also, we so appreciate when you just drop those emojis in the Discord and email, on DMs and on Instagram. Makes us happy.
We love it.
We know you're listening. So thank you so much. All right, Leslie, ready for the finale title? We're also live next week.
I was just going to say, aren't we live next week?
We are live next week.
Yay!
So patrons can join us for our live episode. But next week's title, Season 4, Episode 13, I Cannot Believe We're Here, Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There is more than one way to skin a cat. Preparation, 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 preparation. Coach Taylor.
Huh.
Okay, while you
Skin a
think.
cat.
So, Kate, she writes, I'll weigh in as a newbie with my predictions for the Lion-Panther face-off. I think that the Lions are going to beat the Panthers. So many of the characters have dealt with so much heavy shit this season. I think that they and we are due for a victory to end this season on a high note. Maybe Landry will kick a field goal for the win.
Love that idea. Love it. Yeah.
There you go.
I've predicted that they will win, but is that predictable? I don't know. Will we go a different route? And I don't know. Maybe they have to like, for some reason, like crazy, like forfeit the game. And they have to like stop the game and like no, there's no winner. I don't know, something bizarre. I'm just going off on a tangent. But what I obviously would like to see is the Lions kick the Panthers' ass.
We
JD McCoy gets kicked in the face.
Oh my! I would love a football to his face.
Football right into his face. And hell yeah, let's get Landry that field goal kick and just down the field. Football, yeah.
Sports.
Yeah, sports. But Vince is a huge player too, so I'm sure this whole thing is going to be weighing on him. But maybe he'll get like a little smoochie from Jess and he'll be like amped up.
Okay.
Pump it up.
And then Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And then Thanksgiving happens. And then maybe all of our fams will get together. A la Gossip Girl style. Like everyone comes to one dinner table. I would love that. Because I feel like we don't really see all of the characters in the same spot.
Yeah, just at weddings or pancake breakfast or games.
Right, which we haven't done in a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you see them getting together?
Who's
Coach
hosting?
and Tami. Unless I'm trying to think of who has like a big enough house for everyone. The Riggs aren't going to be there. Come on. They can't go to Thanksgiving.
Why?
Because they're going to be in jail.
Are they going to be having turkey in jail?
They're probably going to give them nasty turkey in jail.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right.
Gonna be a Christmas miracle. And the boys like get out and they have Thanksgiving with Mins. Fucking cop out. But whatever. We'll see. I mean, obviously I don't want them to go to jail, but they obviously also have to atone for the sins.
Yes. Okay.
You know?
All right. We'll see.
But I love Thanksgiving episodes.
Me too. Because we haven't really had holidays.
We never have holidays on the show ever.
No. Usually the season's done. We don't even get there.
Yeah, I feel like while it's never felt repetitive, we've never had like anything different.
It's so true.
From beginning to end, like the entire show is like football, school, football, school,
We had
coach
a
and
little bit
Oh my
of
God,
summer.
don't
We had
say
a little
that.
bit of summer.
You're
Oh,
right. We had a little
that's what
summer.
my husband, if my husband were to watch the show, he'd say the same thing. He'd be like, so what's the point of this show? Because every episode we watch, they have a football game or they have football practice.
Mhm.
And then you see the students in high school and they go back. He used to make fun of Sons of Anarchy. They have problems. They do this. And then they ride off to the sunset.
Yeah.
The credits. I'm like,
well, you know, it's funny. Sons of Anarchy was similar in that regard where, you know, a lot of it was the family. It's family drama. It's a family drama show.
Yeah.
In reality, that's what it is. So you're centered around the drama and like the location is not really relevant. But in this part, it's a character in itself. So,
yeah.
you know,
That's
it
like,
makes
it's so
sense as to why we
repetitive.
do it. Yeah, it is repetitive, but it also doesn't feel tiring. The only thing I'm tired of is this Becky Tim thing. I'm so tired of it.
Will it be done next week?
I sure hope so. Let's like Becky go off to college.
Well, it's not time yet.
Let
She's
Tim leave.
16,
No,
right?
Tim got his property.
They both have to go to jail, right? As you're
Right,
predicting.
right.
So does that mean Becky's done? Because
Yeah.
there you go.
To say I
She
love
doesn't
you.
like a con.
Yeah. What was that, Vic?
Surprised when you're surprised, Liz, when she said I love you?
In reality, I'm not surprised, but I also am like, why now? Why did we have to
I never
I
thought
was
she'd actually
surprised as
say
to
it.
why. Right, like why at that point did she feel like it was necessary to say it?
It was not necessary. He's shut her
No.
down so many times already. So
Yeah,
it's
how
like,
did you feel about how he said we can't do this?
like, you need to stop. You need to stop. Keep telling me stuff like this. Like, we can't be doing
Right,
this. Like, you need to stop coming up to me all the time like that.
I feel like he didn't. While he was being assertive, he wasn't like putting his foot down. I feel like he still allowed her to like have an open book. Like, oh, okay, we can't do this, but doesn't mean you don't still like it. Like, I don't know. It just rubbed me the
Or
wrong
maybe
way.
he said we can't do this as in we can't even be friends because you're going to keep doing this.
Right, that's true.
That's true. He said it in the Tim Riggins way of like, we can't do this.
Whatever.
Because he never wants to hurt anybody's feelings.
No.
And we
That's
know
why I said he needs to set boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah. We know he cares for Becky. It's just like, say the words following, I see you like a sister, you are family.
Right, like I love you
It's
like
just
a sister.
like Matt, open your mouth and say, hey,
Right.
Becky, I really care about you, but it's never going to go beyond friendship.
Right.
You know,
Very simple.
I love you like a sister. You're family to me, but never
That's all
any
we
other
could've
way.
said.
That's all he's got to say, and then check.
Right.
That's it.
And he's never said I love you to anyone but Lila.
True.
Like that was his thing.
Right.
That was his relationship, like his first everything.
He did love her.
He did. And
He
I still
loves
think
her.
he does.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when he realized maybe he can actually be someone's boyfriend. And he can be a little bit more mature and find the right woman and be with her then. You know?
Right.
Not Lila. I never thought Lila was his perfect
I
match.
don't think it was either. And while I liked it for a time, I never thought it was going to go the distance.
Yeah.
She just helped him become a better guy and realize that he does have the potential to be an amazing boyfriend.
Yes, she was a perfect first girlfriend for him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she wasn't the first girlfriend because he
Right.
dated Tyra.
Right, but he treated her like shit.
Yeah,
She probably
that's what I'm
treated him
saying,
like
like
shit too.
Yeah.
Like she was the first step. I guess what is it? A step towards what's
the
waiting
right
for him.
direction. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he didn't love Tyra. Like, would say it like he
He
had said
didn't
it to Lila.
appreciate her. Like he didn't even
No, he didn't
like
respect
they
her.
didn't even
No.
have they didn't even have like an actual relationship to, you know, the way he had with Lila to like grow deeper into.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe if he gave it a chance, it would have been different. But yeah, they both treated each other like dirt because whenever she got mad at him, she'd go flirt with Smash just to piss him off.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Remember that?
I miss Smash.
Love Smash.
I know.
Hope you're doing well. Okay, last but not least, we have Will's football poetry corner. Getting a push. When a lineman gets a push, they take control of the momentum of the line of scrimmage. The Panthers and the Lions push each other by messing with others' field, while Vince's morality and judgment are pushed to the extreme. Mindy did some pushing of her own, and now we have another Riggins in the house.
Another boy.
Beautiful as always, Will.
Yeah.
He's so creative
So
every
good.
time.
He's so good.
I can't believe we have another boy. All this testosterone. Minz is gonna lose her mind.
Yeah. Another little Riggins boy. Another Riggo.
Riggo. Love it.
Steve-O Riggo.
Steve-O Riggo. It works so well.
It sure does. Well, thank you, Vic, so much for joining us and being here. We appreciate you.
Thanks, you guys.
And thank you for being a loyal buddy. That means the world to us.
Yes.
Showing up. I love when they show up in their swag.
Yeah.
Like,
It makes
Let me
us
show
feel
one more
good.
time.
Yeah. I also
Representing.
I also cannot believe we have the finale next week.
I know. The time flew.
What the heck?
It's because these seasons are like seasons now where they're super
I know.
short. Which I kind of appreciate.
And I'm so happy you're live next week. So
yes. And we're straight
when you
through.
said that, I was like, oh.
Yeah. And then after that, the week after, we'll be starting season 5.
Yeah. So you have us the entire summer, which is super exciting. If you want to be part of the show, send us an email, talkintexasforever@gmail.com. If you have season 4 finale thoughts, send them our way. We will read them live on air. Vic, thank you so much as always. Really appreciate you. Thank you everyone for listening, downloading, sending your questions and comments. Come back next week for the finale when we discuss Thanksgiving.
I'm hungry.
Ooh.